Religious leaders in the country are calling for the review of the 1992 Constitution to reduce the powers vested in the president, which they describe as excessive. According to the leaders, current provisions of the Constitution does not allow for proper checks and balances, which makes fighting corruption difficult. The religious leaders took to their turn to contribute to the Institute of Economic Affairs dialogue on reviewing the 1992 Constitution.
The seminar, organized by the Institute of Economic Affairs, forms part of a series of dialogues by the IEA to receive contributions and inputs from stakeholders towards a possible review of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. This time, leaders from Islamic and the Christian faiths took their turn to offer their perspectives on calls for a constitutional review. Spokesperson for the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Arimiya Oshaibu, said the National Development Planning Commission should be given adequate constitutional backing in their role, stressing the need to make appointments to the commission non-partisan.
There is the need for an enhanced provision, entrenched provision, and I was in the entrenched position, that will make the long-term national development agenda of the NDPC binding on this and any other successive president. We must find a way to fix somewhere and make it binding. That you can't come with your program and abandon an existing ongoing project also meant to serve the interest of the total of the nation. But since it doesn't go with your political and partisan agenda, deliberately you leave it to rot, only to come and spend huge sums of money again for rehabilitation. I think we have not been fair to our country by behaving this way. There must be a provision to guarantee the constitutional independence of the commission from governmental or partisan political influence. The mode of appointment should also be reviewed to ensure diverse stakeholder representation and prevent politicization.
President of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach, Dr. Lawrence Tete, advocated for a reduction in the powers vested in the president, whilst calling for an extension of the presidential term limit to 6 years.
The excessive powers of the president is a main point of contention in the 1992 Constitution. The president has extensive executive authority, including the right to dissolve parliament, appoint and remove public officials, and make important decisions without consulting the branches of the government. And that's limiting checks and balances. I think as O-level students, when we read government, we read about the arms of government, and we read about the checks and balances, read about the separation of powers. And of course, with this kind of powers invested into a president, it limits the checks and balances. This power concentration threatens democracy and effective government. The Constitution needs to be updated to reduce the president's authority while enhancing the function of the parliament and other institutions.
On his part, Presiding Bishop of the Methodist Church of Ghana, Most Reverend Dr. Paul Kwabena-Boafo, says the time limit for which civil and criminal action can be taken against a president after serving his term must be reviewed to 10 years instead of the current 3 years.
We regard the executive powers of the president. It is our considered view that in the addition to the argument for a strict separation of powers between the executive and the legislature, we propose that for the purpose of probity and accountability, the Constitution should extend the time limit within which civil and criminal proceedings can be instituted against the president within a period of a decade after his or her ceasing to be the president, in respect of anything done or omitted to be done for the people. Because the Article 57 says that it is only 3 years, and we think that 3 years is so short a time for which people can gather their information, go back to look at what has been done, and before they are able to put all these together to come up, the time has elapsed and the indemnity has also come into force. And so we believe that the time for this must be looked at, reviewed, for us to also have people coming into office and setting up and delivering to the needs of the Ghanaian citizens.